everyone. Welcome back and Happy New Year to everyone out there. Hello, Helena. Welcome.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's wonderful to see you again. And everyone else out there, we are so happy to have you here again. This is actually our fourth masterclass that we are giving you. And it's a good bridge into the new year, we think. So if you are here and if you have, maybe you have watched the first three masterclasses, then just say hello and where you're from and also which country, because, you know, we have had three masterclasses. And Helena, it has been like, I calculated them to 1,800 approximately people who have watched these masterclasses. And it's so amazing that people are actually so interested into the sustainable development goals and how businesses and companies can benefit from the sustainable development goals. That's amazing. So people, if you are here, just say hello and also which country you're from, because we calculated that it was approximately more than 20 different countries out there watching our lives and watching the masterclasses. So can you
Thank you, Jan.
Yeah, can you say any comments?
Yes, Jan is writing from Netherlands, and he's wishing us a good and healthy new year. And we would just say the same to you, Jan.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Thank you, and you too, Jan. Let's see. I will just see if I can get the comments here. Yeah, we have like 3 comments now. So Jan Groot from Netherlands and Anne Landeboy. Oh, hi. Wonderful. You missed the first ones. Yes, and you will catch up. Great. And you are in Sweden with your own business. Welcome, Anna. And then we have Stefan. Hello, Stefan. You've been with us for, this is your 4th masterclass now. So we're happy to have you here again. And we have Mario. Happy New Year from Italy. Happy New Year to you as well. Syed from India. Wow, wonderful. Welcome. It's lovely to see you all. And Katarina, you wish a happy new year from Karlskrona in Sweden. You have also been with us, I think, the 3 masterclasses, or maybe the 2 last ones. I'm not sure, but many of you have been here before. So, and we have been working with you in our workbook as for the first 1, 2, and 3 third masterclasses. So this 4th masterclass will be about to discover the 7 steps of methodology to integrate the SDGs into your company and your business strategy. And also about talking a little bit about how to integrate it into your operations and company structure, and really to not just have a strategy plan for how to work with the sustainable development goals, but also do it in practical, in real life, so that every employee in your company feels that the company is working with the sustainable development goals. So let's see. Magnus Sidén, you're also here. Welcome from Jämtland. So I am in actually in Bjärred. It's the south of Sweden. And Helena, where are you right now?
I'm on Öland, outside the east coast of Sweden, and we're actually having a lot of snow today, which we welcome with open arms.
Wow. We don't have snow here yet in Skåne. I'm not sure when it will come, but I hope it will come soon. Okay, people, let's see. If you are more people here, just write us who you are and where you're from, and we will start to start the masterclass number 4. Let's see. I will try to share my screen. See if you can Let's see where it is. Here it is. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
You can see it, and I will just. Can you see the big screen?
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. So this masterclass will be about discovering the 7 steps methodology of how to future-proof your business by integrating the strategy plan. So again, this is the bridge, as you know. Maybe you would want to write it in the comments field. Where is this picture taken from? Where is it at? Maybe you can see now, because I've been talking about this famous bridge for 3 masterclasses now. Well, and meanwhile, I just see that we have Nikos from Hellas, from Greece, right? And Happy New Year to all over the world. Happy New Year to you as well. And also from Tanzania. Wow, I've actually been in Tanzania. Jan, yes, make it a mission of your business. Right. So this is the bridge in Bjared, and it's almost half a kilometer long. And it's a symbol for me, at least, to actually begin with the end in mind, to start with the end outcome and work backwards to make your dream possible. And these 4 master classes has been about that as well. So it's just a symbol of that, to begin with the end in mind. Okay, let's see. Again, we are not sure of why you're here, so we are just asking you this question because we want to adjust our live also for you who are here. So it's important that you can answer these questions while you are here. And we are just guessing if maybe you are someone who runs a small, medium-sized company and want to make sure that you are doing business in a sustainable manner, but lack the strategy to do so. Or you're already working with sustainability, but don't know how to apply the sustainable development goals into your strategy. Or you feel that everybody is talking about the SDGs and the Agenda 2030, and you would also want to learn more about the goals and integrate them in your work and become a more valuable person. But you don't know how to get the right knowledge and tools, or you're an entrepreneur, CEO of your company, or even working with board of directors, but you're uncertain of how to approach the SDGs in your daily work. Or you are in the situation of thinking about how to reskill and upskill for the future. So, and also if you participated, and not in yesterday's, but in the masterclasses 1, 2, and 3, just write it, please, in the comments field as well, so we know that maybe you participated in these masterclasses. So please share it in the chat. Yeah, Stefan, I can read your comment now. I know where the picture is taken, but I live there, so it would be almost cheating answering where the bridge is from. That's what you're writing. So yes, I know. You are almost a neighbor of mine. Okay, so let's see why you are here. Which one of these numbers are you? Well, I think we know Stefan and Katarina. Rasmus, hello. It's so nice to see you here. You are number 3. Yeah, this is your first time. I love it. I hope you are all well, Rasmus. It was a long time ago. Okay, Mario, you are on 5 and 6. And Anna, you are a 5. Okay, good. And Katarina, you are a 2, 3, 5, and 6. All right. And Sayed, a number 5. Okie dokie. Then we have a couple of numbers here, and we will just move on. So this is what we're going to cover. We had the first masterclass. Was about getting super clear on why sustainability and the SDGs will be crucial for your business, for future business. And the masterclass 2 was who you serve and how you can best serve them in these challenging times. We talked about the stakeholders, right? And the third masterclass was about what you need to do to integrate the Sustainable Development Goals in your business strategy and how to find your focus. And this masterclass is about discovering the 7 steps methodology of how you future-proof your business by integrating the strategy plan. So if you haven't been here before, just a short introduction of me and Helena. I have my really short story about having a dream about 11, 12 years ago when I was traveling around in Thailand with my kids and ex-husband. And then I dreamt something that was really strange. I dreamt that I was asking myself this question: what am I supposed to do? What should I work with? And what is my purpose in life? And I answered myself in a very clear voice that I should work for the United Nations. And I didn't get it then. I didn't understand the dream. However, it was so clear and real, so I just couldn't ignore it. And I started to educate myself within the United Nations. And then I discovered actually that within the United Nations, there are a big marketplace, because the UN, they are procuring goods and services for billions of dollars. And this was getting interesting for me, because I also noticed that Sweden is a huge contributor to the UN. We are the 6th largest contributor, but we are lousy at making business. And business for me is like sharing knowledge by sharing products and services, right? And I also discovered that Denmark, they are great at doing business with the United Nations. Rasmus, you know this, because we have been talking about it. And actually Denmark, it was the 5th largest country doing business with the United Nations. So in parallel with my work as a businesswoman, because I am a businesswoman, I discovered this market, and I also found a company then at that time was called eWork Group, and I wanted to make eWork Group part of the UN system, being part of their suppliers in the consultancy services. So I started to work, but I discovered that I had a problem. I had a problem of getting the UN to understand and know what value eWork Group could bring to them. So I had to integrate the Sustainable Development Goals into the business strategy. So and communicate our service and our value for the UN through the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is how I overcame the problem. And actually, we had success, because we managed to get, as the first Swedish consultancy firm for the United Nations, to get a frame agreement worth of 345 million Swedish crowns. So and we have success today. And this is what I'm teaching about: how to integrate the Sustainable Development Goals to business strategy and work with it for real, and also how to communicate it when you are in procurement procedures and so. So here I was, transformed myself and applied my knowledge from business and created this new recipe for sustainability in business, which is unique. And that's what we are teaching about. So I believe the future is equal. That's my mission, or my belief. And I believe in the power of daring to lead. So I'm on this mission to spread the message of dare to lead on a global scale. And if you haven't, please connect with me on LinkedIn. And also, I would like Helena to make a short introduction of yourself. So go ahead, Helena.
Thank you, Eva. So my name is Helena Tinnert, and please connect with me on LinkedIn. You will see my address below on the screen. A few years back, I found myself in China with my family, discovering the lack of human rights. And this was before I actually found myself in another part of the world, South Africa, where I had the opportunity to meet with 1,200 learners and actually find that the greatest gift is to give. I had then seen in China what can be done when you give other people something that they long for, and actually that the giver is the greatest contributor. And this was also coming to me in Africa or South Africa when I saw the learners giving what I had to give for them, and it actually made me feel very, very good. And since I also am a businesswoman, I've been working in business and Swedish industry in leading positions for more than 20 years. I brought this with me to business, and I learned that you do a lot more business in actually having a giver's mind. And since I've had, curiosity of the UN system for a long time, I also, like Eva, got from her dream, I got curious on how to learn more. And we have worked together for a couple of years. And 2 years ago, you gave the first pilot course, Business for SDGs.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect match for me because that has made me find my sweet spot where I can be a teacher and a student at the same time. So today that is actually what I do, working with What is Common Ground as a founding member, and also working with the food industry and different companies, helping them to transform into a more future-proofed strategy of theirs.
Great, thank you, Helena. So if we just continue and give this short recap of the first masterclass about the arguments to integrate the SDGs into business strategy was about the global common language. As I also explained in the eWork case, it is much more easier to match business when you are talking through the sustainable development goals and talking about what kind of value you are creating, the shared value. So we are also, it's easier to secure financing, banks, public funds, and from investors. And talking about investors, they are looking at requirements now about ESG and risk management. ESG is environmental social governance. And they're also looking at companies that are being more cost efficient and with increased opportunities, business opportunities, which we will be touch base on as well. And also legislations, conventions, international expectations are arising from the Agenda 2030. And this is truly important. And we will also touch it a little bit about the new revised ISO 26000, which is the sustainability ISO with the verification. So, and it also creates value for employer branding and marketing, of course, because we are getting a more increasingly conscious customer. So we also give, or the Agenda 2030 also gives increased business opportunities, innovation, and positive impact. And that is actually what the this report is all about. Better business, better world. This is written by the United Nations actually it was in the beginning of 2017, but it's still very valid because it explains the business opportunity that the Agenda 2030 is giving. $12 trillion of opportunities within 4 segments per year until the year 2030. And it is within these 4 segments: energy, cities, food and agriculture, health and well-being. And if you haven't read it yet, please do. You can browse it as Better Business, Better World. And it is a thick report. And it also states not just the 4 segments, but also the market areas. And there are like 60 plus market areas. And also it states in which countries these opportunities are. So it is your kind of a business Bible. Thank you.
And just
okay. And
Eva,
now we have the, sorry.
a tip is just to read the executive summary first, because that will give you a much better understanding when you read the whole report.
Exactly. That's a good tip because it is a thick report. So, yeah. And we talked about changes coming. We have been working, both of Sweden and me personally have been working with the SIS. SIS is the Swedish Institute of Standards. In their technical committee to update the ISO 26000 and the associated self-declaration, which actually will be launched now in this month. And the self-declaration will also work as a sustainability report. So no matter size or industry, you will be able to show your sustainability work for your I forgot the stakeholders, but also your investors and customers. And there's also verification possible to do from a third party that is verifying your sustainability work and your self-declaration. So it gives you like quality check, right? And it will make you also qualify for tenders in procurement, both for public procurement, but also for private procurement. So this is truly important for you to know because this is a way from the Swedish government actually to not legalize the sustainability work, but to drive it towards making companies wanting to work with sustainability. And this is actually connected to SDG 12.6 and 12.7, which is about sustainability reporting and sustainable procurement. So pay attention here and make sure that you are starting to work with it as soon as possible. Okay, so these are the 7 steps that we are going to talk more about today and discover it even more deeply. So we just discovered that step number 1, understanding the SDGs, the importance of that and how to map your value chain to tailor your SDG approach. And then we have the step number 2, which was about defining your priorities by identifying your stakeholders and choose your most important stakeholders for them to be able to do a materiality assessment to determine which of these SDGs that matters most to you and your business. And step number 3 was about setting goals and evaluating, setting time-bound goals that reflects on your priorities and define your level of ambition, and also establishing an evaluation and communication plan. And step number 4 is about integrating, appointing managers in your business, in your company, to ensure that these objectives and evaluation plan are implemented and monitored accordingly. And then you have the possibility to do a certification of your company or a verification of the self-declaration of ISO 26000. And step number 6 is about following up to report and communicate and being transparent about your work. And step number 7 is about the multi-stakeholder partnership, to actually build on partnerships, to unify sectors and stakeholders and engage employees to further your SDG goals. Okay, so again, this is just a short recap. Understand the SDGs and the 169 sub-targets that are within these 17 SDGs. Super important, because otherwise you will get lost and it will get very shallow if you just pick and choose amongst the 17 SDG goals for your company. It will get too shallow and you will risk being in the, in the cherry picking zone, like SDG washing or greenwashing your company, because you really need to do the work to be transparent and truth about your company and work.
Authentic.
Thank you for that word, Helena. And then we discussed about the value chain. understanding your business, understanding how your value chain looks like. I think personally, it's easier for companies working, producing something, producing goods and products, because it is some way it is easier to see what is entering into your company, what kind of activities do you have in your company, and what is delivered as a value from your company. It is harder to do the value chain mapping for a consultancy firm, for example, but it is harder, but it's not impossible. You can do it, and we have done several value chain mapping during these 2 years. Actually, we have had like 130-ish companies going through this program, Business for SDGs, and several of them has been consultancy firms and IT platforms, for example, and so on. And then we did the business intelligence analysis of getting the outer perspective of your company, and the SWOT is really a good way of making this business intelligence analysis for the company. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything more to say here, Helena? It was just it is like an external analysis that you need to do.
Yes, and I mean, what you start with is the value chain, because you need to know your value chain, and as we have said all through these live sessions, is that keep it simple. It's not about having the most developed value chain. You should just know your value chain, and also to dare to lead, as you say, Eva, dare to lead by actually starting off with a benchmark where you actually look at your sector peers, your competitors, and not least important, actually find your role model company. Who would you like to become? Because that's actually sets the tone for your further work.
Yeah, so that's about the business intelligence. And of course, we are talking more about this in the program of Business for SDGs. But yeah, you really need to do the business intelligence with external analysis. So then we talked about the stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? And it could, of course, differ from company to company. But you really need to find out who your stakeholders are and who's your most important stakeholders, and start with them. Start to ask questions to the most important stakeholders, because otherwise it will be too massive for you. You really need to, this is where you find focus. You really need to narrow it down, choose your most important stakeholders, and ask those questions about which of the SDGs are the most important ones for them and why, and etc. So we have this picture, how you can map the SDGs against your value chain. So this is just an example of a value chain consisting of raw materials, suppliers, inbound logistics, company operations, distribution, product use, and product end life. And you could also see like what kind of actions can you take that increases the positive impacts of the SDGs, and also the negative, the activities that minimizes the negative impacts on the SDGs. So so you can map the SDGs and especially the sub-targets. So you could end up with like, let's say you could end up with 60, 70 sub-targets that you find relevant for your company and for your value chain. So to be able to choose amongst those 60, 70, or 80 sub-targets, you need to find focus. And to find focus, you need to choose your most important stakeholders and then do this materiality assessment. to ask questions to your stakeholders. And we had actually a reference case with us, because there was someone asked about the to show you what kind of reference cases that could be used. And and this is a company called SmartHead, working in Bratislava, and they did a materiality assessment based on their stakeholder survey. And it looked like this in their plottings, but also they did an internal strategic prioritization of having a high impact on how it is having a high impact on their business. So you really need to do materiality assessment, looking from the outer perspective, from your stakeholders' perspective, but also do it from your internal strategic prioritization, right? So then you choose which one are the most important ones and start there. And then after a while, you could add on the other SDGs as well, but you need to start somewhere. Okay, and then we touched on the setting goals and evaluating. This was the last exercise that you got from the MasterClass number 3. And it is about setting SMART goals: specific, measurable, accepted, realistic, and time-bounded goals. So it is just an easy way of breaking down your goals and explaining the essential SDG area, why it's essential. It is important to explain it to your stakeholders, especially your employees, and how you control it, and your objectives, and really put your baseline versus target in there, and how you monitor it, and who's responsible. So yeah, so these were the
And Eva, one important thing.
yes.
What you sometimes see is that the sustainability officer gets the responsibility of integrating these essential SDG areas, and that's a big no-no. Monitoring the work, of course, but you need to give the responsibility to the organization itself.
Yeah.
Both top down and bottom up.
Yes. Great. Thank you for clarifying that, because a sustainability manager can catalyze the work and coordinate the work, but not being overall responsible. That's, as Helena says, it's a big no-no. It's not working well, because well, I've been there, and I think you have been there also, Helena. So you really need to delegate the work, and that's actually what the next step is all about. And as we said, we are actually now in the step number 4, integrating, appointing managers in the business to ensure that these objectives and evaluation plan are implemented and monitored accordingly. So how do you do that? Well, let's start from start. If you have like a corporate management agenda 2020, or maybe now 2021, actually, you have a KPI that says that you are going to contribute to the SDG 12, which is sustainable production and consumption. And your task is to phase out harmful chemicals in production by the year 2023. And you want to ensure that all chemicals are identified and phased out where possible, and new alternatives are identified by the year ending 2022. So let's say this is a company working with chemicals in some way. They maybe have some kind of a product that they are using different chemicals. And perhaps they have done, they could have done a survey for their materiality assessment, asking maybe their clients or customers about different types of chemicals, or maybe they just discovered that a certain chemical will be it's not good to have in their products, right? Because it's harmful. So they really need to take action here. Otherwise, it could be that their customer says that we don't want to buy from you if you're using this type of chemical, right? So they have this objective to phase out and to find alternatives. Okay, so what's happening next then? Well, these actions need to be delegated. So maybe the R&D managers or the R&D manager has this task of identifying alternative materials for all identified harmful chemicals in production by the year ending 2022. And then we have maybe the supply chain management within the company that has to phase out the suppliers and maybe find new suppliers to buy from. And these actions needs to be delegated even further to an individual person, maybe an R&D engineer who actually does the identifying the alternative materials for harmful chemicals in products and components by year ending 2022. So this is a person, this is an R&D engineer working with identifying alternative materials, right? So this is a task a person has in the company. And this person will understand how he or she is contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030 for his or her company by working with this objective. And the same as with the supply chain, within the supply chain management, maybe there is a purchaser who's the one ensuring that all supply comply with the purchasing policy that they have on harmful chemicals by year ending 2022. So this could be a purchaser that is, working with a long list with suppliers and needs to investigate whether these suppliers are the right ones or they need to be phased out and new suppliers has to be matched for the company. So yeah, so this is just a way of showing you how you can delegate these actions. But it's super important that that these managers, like the R&D manager and the supply chain manager, are the ones responsible and accountable for the KPI that is in the strategy work, so to say. Okay,
and Eva,
yes, Helena.
During our sessions, I know we have had a lot of questions on defining our stakeholders and prioritize them, and why we shouldn't prioritize all our stakeholders. And we said that some of them you need to manage closely and some you need to keep satisfied. So looking at the screen now, I just got an idea of when it comes to defining your stakeholders, it's very easy to see your customer as the one you should always prioritize the highest. But in this case that you actually described, Eva, it could actually be a legislation that says that these chemicals will not be able to use by 2023.
Yeah.
And that's why we say future-proof your business. Because when that legislation is demanded on you not to use those chemicals, you are actually bare flat, not knowing how will you continue your business if you're not allowed to use these chemicals. And that's a typical example on how you have to work backwards from the Agenda 2030, which is actually absolute goals, and then look backwards, because the legislation will drive us forward the agenda. Yeah. And along the way, we have to transform. And that's how you actually need to choose your stakeholders. And in this case or example, it would maybe be the government who would say that it's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just an add-on.
Yeah, that's a good one, because it is what we're talking about. Start with the end outcome and work backwards to make your dream or task possible, right? So it's really about that. Okay, so summarizing this is the business for SDGs way of, this is the 7 steps of methodology to work with sustainable development goals close with your business strategy. And these steps tells you of what you need to do. And of course, this masterclass that you have been through has been about step number 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe you could say 1, 2, and 3, because step number 4 is about change management and change leadership, with integrating and transforming your company to transform the whole, all the employees to understand why and how they can work with the sustainable development goals. All right. So, summary of the masterclass. We are running out of time again, Helena. This is, we have so much to tell you guys about all this, and this is our last masterclass. But the summary of the masterclass is, you need to do 3 things. It is about value creation. You need to show how your company is contributing to the SDGs. And the second thing is that you need to do the risk assessment. You really need to identify both positive and negative impact, and how your company can address them. Because this is the, how do you say that? You really need to be aware of your risks, and embracing them and mitigating them and minimizing them, but also communication, being transparent about it, being transparent that you are aware of the risks, also the opportunities, of course, and you need to communicate this in a very transparent way. And the self-declaration form in the ISO 26000, as we said, you can use it as your sustainability report. And that is actually about being really transparent about your sustainability work in your company. Jan, you are writing yes, but this takes time. Of course it does. And to sit down with your management team to do the strategic plan, it takes a while, but then you need to integrate it in your company, and that could take a couple of months, and even up to a year or 2, depending how large your company is. And yes, Jan, I can see, find ambassadors for your mission. Absolutely. If you have a larger company, then you really need to find, as we said, not just one sustainability manager being responsible for all, but also finding those ambassadors. Maybe within each department, you have some kind of an ambassador that is driving your sustainability work, and is more of an expert understanding the SDGs and how they correlate to your business and your work. So ambassadors is a good thing.
And also, as we started off with in our first live session, close to your heart is very important. You need to have your purpose, your end in mind, and the goals that are close to your heart. Then you will succeed.
Absolutely. So, and yeah, start the work. Number 1, start the work and do it one step at a time, not all at once, because then you will get overwhelmed. And dare to focus, dare to find your priority and follow the principle of materiality. So it is about daring. Choose your most important stakeholders, choose your most important topics, and dare to find that focus. And also, doing something is better than doing nothing at all. Remember that. You don't need to do everything at once. Find your way and start doing it, because, as we said, Companies that succeed in making the transformation will be the winners of tomorrow's economy. And companies that are not making this transformation, they will run out of business. So you have to choose here. Where do you want to be? And of course, you want to be in you want to be in that form that you want to be the winner, of course. So you really need to start to do the work and dare to find focus. Okay, so great. And Brandon says also sustainability champions. Many already have. Let's see. You say many already have champions. We're just back. We will going to share a little bit more, but I just want to see the comments. Let's see if I can bring them up here. Let's see. We have Brenda. Sustainability champions. Many already have energy champions. Right. That's correct. And but having SDG champions could be also a great thing to invest in, because energy is just one part of sustainability.
Definitely.
Okay, so again, if you have questions, just ask us, because now we have this. We want to show you also the where is it? Here we are. The opportunity that we want to give you. Let's see if I can share the screen again. Can you see my screen, Helena?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
And now you are sharing it.
Okay. So the benefits for you and your company will be to, as we said, qualify for future procurement and for investors. And we in Sweden, we have already started this. So to qualify for procurement, you need to show how you're working with sustainability. And it's also easier to get financing, for example, from EU, Vinnova, and from different investors. And it gives you a competitive advantage for your company. And also, it gives you a possibility to get matched. Companies can be matched for large projects, and their products could be matched, for example, in procurement, but also individuals, professionals could be matched for assignments. At least here in Sweden now, we are working really focused with sustainability, especially now when we're entering into the as I said, ISO 26000, the self-declaration, the sustainable procurement, etc. That will require people to have this kind of knowledge, to help companies to do this transformation. So it is valuable for you to have this knowledge. And it's, of course, about, as Helena said, future-proofing your company and being cost efficient. And it is about creating a better world. So we were not sure of why you showed up, but we had some answers from you. And it was different answers, actually. It was like 2, 3, 4, and 5. A lot of 4s and 5s, I think, about reskilling and upskilling. And therefore, we have this discussion with you. What's the next step for you then? Well, you can do it on your own now. Because we have showed you these 4 masterclasses and also some good links for where you can find more information, and especially, as we said, the Better Business, Better World, but also the SDG Compass is a good one. And you can do it and just follow the recipe as we have given you. But of course, it takes a while and a long time to do it. Or you can hire us and work one-on-one. And but of course, that could be a large investment for you because, well, you know, senior consultants, it is a big investment, and especially for companies. But you can also do this certification course, as we have been talking along this time, Business for SDGs, and which actually Helena has done. Was it 2 years ago now, Helena? In February 2019, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so the certification course, it is like, this is what we want to to reveal here now for you, because Helena is the one who's going to drive the Business for SDGs program, which is an online train the trainer certification course. And she will be the course convener. And as you see, it is a certification course where you complete the Business for SDGs as, in this case, Janet actually did it in October 2019. So what you will learn is the purpose of the course is to ensure that the SDGs becomes a part of business strategy and that sustainability aspects are embedded in the business model. And also specifically, it is also about the responsibility for overall strategies, goals, activities, and following up being defined and distributed among different functions and business areas, as we talked about integrating, for example. And the course is a train the trainer course, meaning that you are applying your newly acquired knowledge directly on a pilot case. And the pilot case could be your company, or it could be a company that we match you with, or it could be a project. And this is done in module 4. And actually, what you have been learning here in MasterClass 1, 2, 3, and 4 now is the module 4 in a very, crash course way, of course, because there is a lot of learnings to do. But in the certification, you're actually applying your knowledge onto a real case during the time that you are learning. That's the trainer, what we mean by that. And you can see the following modules are contributing to your learning. The module 1 is about sustainability challenges and business opportunities, to learn about them. Module 2 is about the business case. And this is super important, to know how to write a business case and to find the arguments of why invest in sustainability projects, for example. Yeah. You really need to show that business case for your managers or your CEO or board of directors. Super important. And then module 3 is about mastering the SDGs and all the 169 sub-targets, how they relate to companies, to understand it. And module 4, as we said, it is about mapping your value chain, identifying those impact areas, learn how to do the materiality assessment, and apply all this to a company of yours or a pilot company that we match you with. Or it could be your own company. We have several course participants who has done it for their own consultancy firm, being an independent, perhaps a freelancer, but still they can apply it and communicate their services through the SDGs. Module 5 is about communication. Module 6 about partnerships and collaboration, how you can work with non-profit actors. We are, Body of Sweden and Bodies Common Ground, we are working a lot with non-profit actors like the United Nations, for example, and different governments and universities, how to create systematic change in sustainability. And then the module 7 is about certification and license. And that's explaining what you need to do to get the certificate. And it is about to show your pilot case for Helena in this case. And then you will have to answer a couple of questions, of course, to make sure that you have understood the course. So what's included, it's 8 to 10 weeks online course. If you put approximately 5 hours per week in that, it takes you about 8 to 10 weeks to do it. But you have access for the course for 6 months, which means that you can do this in your own pace that suits you. And you will get a practical action plan, and you will get more than 35 course lectures. And these are downloadable course material and podcasts to save. And also a concrete step-by-step description and tasks. And a closed Facebook and LinkedIn group with other course participants, because we have had about 130-ish, something like that, course participants now. So what you may do with your license is then to apply your knowledge. and use the business for SDGs and teach others and act as a consultant for companies on how to integrate the SDGs into business strategy. Because as I said before, this will be, this year, companies will need to do this transformation, and they really need your help to do it.
Yes.
And you could also drive transformational SDG projects within your company. Helena, did you want to say something? No.
Not this time.
Okay. Okay, so this is what you will become. Actually, we have Helena. You are on this picture here. I don't know if you can see it, but you are here, Helena. And actually, that's Jonet.
Yeah.
And here are other course participants as well. But this was the first class taking the course. It's really amazing to see it. So you will become a more knowledgeable person within your organization in the field of sustainability. But you will also become a person companies can hire as a sustainability expert linked to your business strategic tasks, of course. And you will also become a person that we, Baltics Common Ground, can match you for different requests that we get from our clients and partners. So being in the tribe, in the network, qualifies you for us to being able to match you with them, because what is Common Ground? We are providing knowledge and education and certifications. We are actually not doing the work because we don't have the time. So we want to educate you and match you with our clients and customers. So what you may not do with this is to certify others, individuals or companies. It is not allowed to do that, because if companies wishes to get certified, then you can contact Baltic Sweden, which is an independent third party. And that's important. You really need to have an independent third party, because otherwise you will end up in what's it called? The situation of I just lost the word, Helena.
I know the Swedish word, but I can't really get the English one. But it's not a good situation when you can't trust your certifier. Everyone understands what we mean.
Yeah, and in Swedish, I just lost the word.
In Swedish, it's jäv.
Jäv, yes, right. Okay, good. So, how much is the course to get certified? Yes, that's actually what we are going to cover here now, Anna. It is, so this is the value of the course. It is 35 recorded lectures and downloadable PDFs, which is a value of 105,000 Swedish crowns. It's actually our time and the videos and all of that. And also the coaching, which you will get actually here for 1 year. And we'll just explain why you will get it for 1 year. And that's a value of 40,000. And then the train the trainer concept value. It's a possibility now to match you with a company, which is invaluable, and to implement your learning simultaneously in your company, actually, if you are a company taking this course. And it's also invaluable. So the total value is 145 Swedish crowns, but the price for the course is actually 30,000 Swedish crowns. And the next round will start here in January 18th by Helena, who will be your course convener and coach. So the price is 30,000 Swedish crowns. But also, we have this bonus for you, because you have been in this masterclass now during this time, and we want to give you this bonus of 1 year of membership for the Baltics Common Ground, which is the silver membership tier. And it is about what's included there. It is about belonging to a private community where you can connect and collaborate with hundreds of others who has taken this course. And also you get access to a private Facebook and LinkedIn group. We also hold live webinars with special guests and industry experts. And also we have a resource and downloads library with white papers, templates, a lot of templates, checklists, and so much more. And you get access to one of our free online courses, and also the group coaching. You will get access to group coaching every second week for a year with Helena, being coached about sustainability and how to work with sustainability in companies. And also we have 2 networking conferences per year where we meet up, share our learnings, and we also make matchmaking there. But we also have a gala celebration actually for all of those who has taken the course and become certified change leaders. Okay, so again, this bonus is actually a value of 16,800 Swedish crowns, but you get this for free, and it is time limited until January 15th, 11:59 p.m. You need to do the purchase or buy the product before this time ends up, and the course will start on Monday, 18th of January. So a summary again, the total value is 145,000 Swedish crowns plus 16,800, but you will pay 30,000 Swedish ex VAT. And if you want to learn more and sign up for this, you actually can do that by, I will just put the link in the comments field now. And you can just send us your email. I just put it up right now. I think you can see it. You can just send us your email and we will contact you. This is just, it's if you want to ask something about the course and how it's working and such. So just
and Eva, I can just add, we were talking about invaluable add-ons in Train the Trainer and so on, and I can just share that doing the course 2 years ago, I not only got the knowledge and the methodology of how to work, but I also get this group of my partner students. So being out, working with companies, working with the food industry, driving the food industry to transform itself into a more sustainable one. Those friends of mine today is just a phone call away. So when you face the challenge, you can just bring it in, take it with you and ask your friends, and then you can come back to your company or your project and with a good answer. And that has been so valuable too. So it's not only you doing the course, you also get these sector peers to work together with. It's
true. That's true. Thank you, Helena, for that. That's absolutely true. And so yeah, let's see. We have something here. Yeah, John, you are wishing us many students. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do. I mean, this is a mission also because to teach people to do the work, to transform companies, to scale the knowledge. Because as I said in the beginning, this is this recipe, the unique recipe that you, we know how to do it and we really need to do this fast. So that's why I created this company to scale the knowledge and to teach as many people as possible to do the work. And of course, meanwhile, you are getting work as well. So so we want to transform the world for the better. The sooner the better. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. And if you have any questions, just post it to us, Helena or me. And I've just put the link in the comments field where you can just sign up and we will send you some news about it. And we will actually, Helena, we will host a webinar, a closed webinar about the course, and you can put up your questions about the course and learn more about it. So you're welcome to join them. So everyone, thank you very much. Stefan, you say that let's see, what did you say? I'm in the middle of the course. Yes, it's great. Thank you, Stefan. You are in the middle of it. And this was a boost for you to I hope, to gain some knowledge. Because as I said, this is module 4 in a very crunchy, crushed way, presenting these 4 masterclasses. Okay, thank you, Brenda. Thank you for wonderful lessons. Thank you. And just use this material and go out there and do the work and change the companies for the better, so we can have this wonderful future of ours, right? So thank you very much, and stay tuned. We'll be here and in a couple of days or weeks. Bye-bye. Thank you, Helena.
Bye.
Bye.